Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Catherine, co-host and bestie.
Welcome to the Pod Lab, Catherine.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful day today.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
It is, but it's still chilly.
Wah, wah, wah. It's sunny. Look outside.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful to look at. It's just still chilly. I still have to wear a jacket.
Yeah.
In May.
Okay.
Our months are cooler in the Midwest.
Well,
longer than they're warmer.
We are recording today is what, May 20th?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it was like 60 degrees today or something like that. So yeah, I guess it's chilly, but it's going to warm up. Hang in there, friend. Put on a jacket.
I did.
Okay.
Don't want to put on a jacket.
Okay, friends, let's get into the episode. Today we are covering episode number 270, and we're talking about change, Catherine.
Yeah. The seasons are changing.
They are changing.
Yes.
Right before your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So this episode is called Change Happens. We're going to talk about different kinds of change, the change that you choose and the change that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? The main idea of the podcast is that change can feel uncomfortable, emotional, exciting, scary, and good all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And God often does his deepest work in us during transitions. So stay tuned. We have a lot of takeaways for you today. You don't want to miss any part, any little nugget of this episode. We always have a call to action as well as a little scripture to share. So before we dive into the content of change, Catherine, share with our listeners how they can support the podcast.
Go to Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast.com. That'll take you to Tracy's website. And from there, you can click on donation. I can't remember what says.
It just takes you right to the page, and it gives
and
you...
then from there, you can
just fill in the blanks.
choose.
Catherine, I could tell that she is, like, going through something, okay? Because she's just sort of like,
How do you get there?
I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Let's just get into it.
Okay.
All right. What say you, Catherine? Two kinds of change.
Yeah, well, like you said, there's the kind you choose, and then there's the kind that just shows up in your life.
Right. Like you choose to change your clothes, change your underwear, and other times it's like, oh no, I have to.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so, and those are the ones that can come, that can feel uncomfortable, scary.
Yeah.
And like I said, like a surprise, but if you have faith and you trust in God, he's in control. Nothing that happens, it passes through God first. So we can always be reminded of that when change comes around. What are you about to say? You look like you're about to bust out of the racehorse door.
I am looking at the notes that you provided for me.
Yes.
And I am about to say,
yes,
change reminds us that we were never meant to stay the same.
That's right.
We were not created to just be stagnant.
No, even our skin changes.
Stop.
I think every 7 days, it like your cells scale off.
Okay, no, you see this?
Oh, I
this
see
big
that.
spot?
I have one too. It's so ugly.
So Catherine and I are comparing our age spots that are on our hands. I have an age. Look at this. I have an age
you don't have
spot.
To hold it. You don't have to bring it that close to me,
You
Tracy,
can see
because
it
I can
from
see it
afar.
across the
Shut
room.
up. Nobody asked you. Oh, wait,
I used to
did.
look at my mom's hands,
Yeah.
and her age spot, and I used to be like, ooh. And now I look down and I'm like, whose hands are those? Oh my God, they're mine.
Okay, the hands. I don't know why the hands do this. And if
don't
our
know.
skin is reproducing every 7 days, it's not going to my hands. I think it's all going to my butt
Yeah.
because the skin is not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, they say that. I don't know how true this is, but that like half the dust in your house is your flaky skin.
Okay,
Isn't that gross?
that is gross. Look I have like a constellation.
You do.
It looks like the Big Dipper.
Okay. You know what? I don't really have. Well, that's
Okay.
weird.
Anyway,
My skin changed. I thought I had them, and I only have one on my wrist.
Anyway, things do change. And I remember as well comparing like hands, like my grandma versus my mom versus me when I was little. And little kids' hands look very little kitty, you know?
They're like Play-Doh.
I know.
They're just so smooth. Soft.
I know, and they're so pudgy and
They
cute and
are
puffed up.
little candy grippers. That's what their little hands are.
It's so true. Why? Why does it go like this? Okay, side note.
Yeah.
Here's something that I thought about this podcast, okay? We change. God doesn't. Everything that God created changes.
Right.
The weather changes. Even the rocks change, the rivers change, all of the systems that God created change, but he doesn't.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
It is.
I think it's so cool how a tree can take on so many different changes. It could, blossom flowers, which turn to fruit, and then the leaves can turn all different colors. It's constantly changing. It's constantly growing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it gets those rings, it just keeps going out and we get age spots. So I don't get that one. How come the rings are on the inside, but our age spots are on the outside?
Yeah.
Even in church life, I was talking to Kim about it today when I was at the office because, we're in the thick of it. Kim and I, who is a mutual friend of mine and Catherine's, we both work at the office of our church, Christ Community Church in Piatone. And we're behind the scenes. So we're always into, we've got this, we've got that, we've got this, we've got that. The church changes constantly. It really does.
I'll bet.
Marriage changes
Yeah.
from beginning to end. There's always changes. Our life groups change. People move. New people come in. Friendships change.
Yeah.
Our friendship has changed from the time that we first met each other to today.
True. True.
Our relationships change. Our moods change. Yeah.
Well, some swing way. The pendulum goes way crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But God never changes. I think that God maybe did that so that he could show, I am God. I'm the creator, and you all are the created.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it definitely tells us we have to rely on him. We need him. Keep us stable.
Even when the human body dies, it changes.
Yeah.
It decomposes.
Oh, well, unless you've had a lot of processed food, you decompose slower. That's a true fact, by the way.
That's funny. All right. So that first thought was change reminds us that we were never meant to stay the same. So do you have anything else that you want to share about that, Catherine?
No.
Okay.
Where are we on our...
We're on point number 1.
Okay.
Do you see it? Number
I do
1.
see it. Oh, yes. Let's talk about what change has been hardest
Okay.
for us in this season of life.
All right. Well,
what say you?
What say me about it? Well, right now, I told you about my pucker.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Your macular pucker.
That's right.
Okay.
It's hard for me,
I
Catherine.
know. It's hard for me not to giggle when I hear that
The word?
word.
Yeah. It's hard.
I'll tell people what.
A macular pucker is basically, I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but it's new to me. I just got diagnosed with a macular pucker. I didn't know I had it. It's a wrinkle on the inside of your eye, on your macula. Why are you laughing?
Age spots,
Stop.
wrinkles, inside and out.
And I didn't notice it until now, because now that I know that I have this issue, and it's only in one eye, thankfully, but my other eye is working overtime to try to correct, because I guess the macula is the area of the eye that gives you definition and sharpness and focus. So I do have, if I shut my good eye, I have all this wonky stuff. It looks like black lightning bolts coming at me.
Oh.
It's so weird. Like when I blink, it's like everything goes into like an app. I don't know, like a filter. It looks weird. It's like these sharp, black, crackly lines.
Yeah.
And I thought that we needed a new printer at church when I was looking at the lines on the meeting that I was in. I was like, what's wrong with this? But everybody was like, what's wrong with you?
Right. So you did have symptoms before you...
I didn't notice it until now, because now I'm seeing it. So then if I shut my good eye, then it's all there.
Yeah.
Because when I have both eyes going, thank God, that it's there, but it's not as noticeable because this eye is trying to compensate.
Yeah, what I mean though is you noticed things were different before you were diagnosed.
No, I did not.
Oh.
I did not. So I got the
Interesting.
diagnosis. And then when I was sitting in the meeting at church, I was like, oh my gosh, we need a new printer. And I thought, wait, maybe it's my pucker.
Uh-huh.
So I covered my good eye. I was like, dang it. It is the pucker.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't fix it unless you have surgery, and that can actually make it worse. And it's not going to resolve itself. Like, it's one of those things that when it happens, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
So enough about that. The point is our bodies are changing. And I'm 60. I don't know how long the Lord is going to leave me here on this earth and before he takes me to heaven. But maybe I'll get to be 80. I don't know. So maybe I have 20 more years to live if, he allows that. And my body will just continue to deteriorate, Catherine. It's just going to go downhill from here.
So, as you already know,
Yes.
but our audience does not, yesterday I was digging holes in our backyard, big holes for bushes. And then I redug bushes that were already planted and moved them. I used to do this all the time when we lived in Green Garden. And I could just go all day. And I used to get big burlap balls of roots, and move it myself. These weren't even that big. I mean, I was telling Lindy, our trainer, this morning, how I was doing it. She's like, well, how big were they? And I'm like,
who cares?
They were big enough.
Why are you asking? Shut up. How old are you?
And you know what she told me?
What?
Okay, so side note.
Yeah.
She was talking about her mom, and I said, how old's your mom? And she said 68. I'm like, oh, Tracy is only, your mom is only 8 years older than Tracy.
Oh, shut up, Catherine.
I was like, wow.
Okay.
I did not realize.
Lindy was born when I graduated from high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. That puts it into perspective.
Well, you're only
Anyway.
3 years younger than me, so
I know.
you're right behind me. 60's knocking on your door.
I know. So back to like doing digging and
Yes.
and then carrying bags of dirt and such.
Yeah.
I was dying later. I had to stop. I don't know. I think it was around 2:00 because I started
Take a
maybe
nap?
around 9. Huh?
Yeah, take a nap.
No, I didn't take a nap, but I had to shower and recoup.
Yeah.
I was like, this stinks. I don't like this.
It's a thing.
So that's one of the hardest changes. But another one, I think, in this season,
Yeah.
I think it hit me pretty hard when our last one, our youngest, Ellis, moved out.
Yeah,
Got her
I
own
know it
home.
hit you hard. I watched it in real time.
I did not expect that. I had no idea I was going to react like that.
I didn't either because I was jumping for joy when our youngest moved out. Or not, well, our last one.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else that you want to say from that section there? Motherhood or aging? We
Yeah,
already
that
talked about
changed
that.
us. Yeah.
Motherhood changes everything
Mm.
because, your body goes through all those changes. You're never going to be the same. You've got a roadmap now.
Well, and you learn as you grow, or you learn as you go,
yeah.
and you grow as you go.
Yeah.
And
it's all good.
you just kind of mature, most of us.
I like how you have here under point C how aging changes our priorities.
It
and that is
does.
so true.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It really is. Where you used to think about other things like, one of the points that Catherine had made was that when you're in your 20s, you want to go on an adventure, but when you're in your 50s, you just want orthopedic shoes.
Good ones.
Right? Because you can't handle that swollen.
I used to rotate shoes like crazy, just like flip flops.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, they got to be $200 in order for them to be good for my feet.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. All right, well, let's move on to point 2. Change exposes what we're really trusting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It does.
so how has that worked in your life? How has change exposed what you're really trusting?
Well, because when things are out of control, things
Yeah.
that, changed, like for example, one of a really big one was when Kenny got injured at work.
Yeah.
Now it's a long time ago, but things really jolted us. And we were
Yeah.
quickly moved into not only a different season, but a whole different change because, I mean, his injury was pretty serious. Thank God he's
fine.
okay. He's fine. He's not. But it almost seemed like, oh my gosh, he's going to be paralyzed. Like it was pretty bad.
He had to have surgery, and then the finances were very tight, and you had to work, and it was very tough.
Yeah, so it did expose, like, I guess it revealed, like, how much I put trust in control, maybe in that things are going to be the same forever, or like a sense of self and control.
Yeah.
And that's a big reality slap.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. And I think if I'm answering that question, how change exposes what we're really trusting in, I don't know why I thought about this, but I thought back to when I lost my mom when she died. And I was a young mom myself. I was in my 20s. I had 2 young kids. And that loss was so grave and big, and like I didn't want it to be like that. I just didn't want to go through that grieving process at that age.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I needed my mom at that time.
I'm sure.
To ask questions and to get help and all of that. And she would have been great at all of those things. And then many years later, losing my dad. So losing both parents, as you now know, because you've lost both of your parents, it does have a change. Like it's an emotional situation. You feel almost orphaned or abandoned in a way. I don't know if I'm articulating it correctly, but it just feels like a big loss. Yeah,
it goes back to like it reveals where we placed our security.
Yeah.
You had security in your mom. You
Sure.
had security in your dad.
Yeah, home was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's a natural part of life. Obviously, we're not going to be here forever, and so our kids will have to go through that too. And I do remember when her mom died, and we were having a conversation about it, and she said, someday you'll know what this is like. And sadly, it was just 2 years later that she got sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway. Okay, let's crawl out of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, some of life's sweetest blessings arrive disguised as change, Catherine. What say you about that? Sometimes when things change and you're not really digging it, but it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. Can you give an example of that?
I would say that when we had to sell our home, we felt like we had to sell it.
Yeah.
And, we didn't want to. We built that home. And so it didn't feel like a blessing at the time. But when we moved here, it's a wonderful blessing. It's, we don't have the same taxes, although our taxes keep going up. I don't know. Did yours go up?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, well, we got our tax bills.
I don't look at that stuff.
It went up a lot. But anyway, and our mortgage wasn't, as high. It actually was more than cut in half. And it's just wonderful to live here in town, and we love our yard. And so it was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, I can see that because you didn't know how it was all going to work out.
No, we didn't. We didn't have a place in mind.
Yeah. I would say my answer to that question is similar, but it goes back a little further. Like when Ron and I chose to move next door to you, I did not want to do it.
Yeah.
And it was mainly because I was pregnant. And I was pregnant with my 5th boy.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed.
Right.
With life. And my oldest son was 11 when my youngest son was born. And I had my son, and then my husband broke ground on the house. So, I mean, it was a very, very tough season. And we had to move out of our house because we sold it. And then we had to separate. Like my boys and I moved in with my dad.
Talk about, oh my gosh. was so bad. Oh.
My dad was living
Didn't Joel spill a gallon
Yes,
of milk in
he
your
did.
dad's itty bitty house?
in the kitchen on the carpet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my dad.
Carpet in the kitchen?
He had a kitchen table with a carpet underneath,
Oh,
and he
like a
dropped
rug.
it
Oh,
right on the
God.
carpet. So the
Oh.
carpet had to be pulled out and taken outside and thrown out. My dad had a fit. And my dad, at that point, he had been a widower for many years. So he had been used to living alone.
And then,
he-
surprise!
He had downsized to this little postage stamp of a house, you know,
Yeah.
like 900 square feet.
Oh.
And here comes Tracy and her 5 boys
Oh.
for the summer.
God. Yeah.
It was so bad. I remember that night driving there after we had moved all of our stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I told the boys, we put most of our stuff in storage. And I said, you can bring one backpack and your bike. That's it.
Wow.
And so we just had pajamas, enough underwear for the week, shorts, t-shirts, jeans, tennis shoes in a backpack, and their bikes.
Wow.
So I'm in the minivan and I'm driving to my dad's house, which is like an hour and a half drive. And my baby, who was just a few months old, he was nursing, but he wasn't. I had a breast infection.
Oh.
So I had a fever. He wouldn't nurse. So he was screaming. He screamed for an hour and a half in the car.
Oh, gosh. I don't think I knew this.
He finally fell asleep.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, you know, so my boobs hurt like
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I felt like my boobs were on fire, and
Oh.
I had a fever. So then we get up to the house, and my dad wasn't home, and the door was locked.
Oh, and you didn't have a key?
No, so we
Oh.
were locked out of the house. I'm
Oh,
like, this
no.
sucks.
And it was summer?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you in the summer.
It was just
Ugh.
the stress of everything was
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
But once we got through it all, and there's more to tell, but I can't get into it right now because I'll need a therapy session. But once we got through it and we moved in, that's when I met you.
Yeah. And I too, now I did pick that property with Kenny, and we both were on the same page in terms of we wanted to build, but I remember thinking, because it was a farm field previously, and then it was divided into lots, and there was no one next to me.
Yeah.
Actually, we were kind of one of the first few to build, and I remember saying to my mom, "There's nobody here,"
Yeah.
and she said, "They'll come," and then you came. And then I was like, where is she?
I was hiding.
I had been waiting because I knew from our other neighbor that you were coming, and that because I was pregnant too, and that you were pregnant, and I just couldn't wait. But then when you moved in, I know now that you were, just that was your 5th one. You were going out of your mind. But I was like, come on out.
It was so bad.
But what a blessing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yes.
It is a total blessing now.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you wanted to share about that?
Well, one of our things to discuss that I wrote down here was how terrifying some life changes initially felt. Well, on that note, I would say when my mom was diagnosed with her Alzheimer's, that was terrifying. And it was definitely a huge change and shift in our family.
Oh, yeah.
And everything changed after that. And
Yeah.
it was terrible. It was actually, it wasn't just, it didn't feel terrifying. It kind of was terrifying. So that was a big change.
Any of those kinds of diagnoses are very terrifying because there's so many question marks above your head that are not answered. Is this how is this going to be? You know, how are we going to do this? Who's going to help? You know, how are we going to suffer?
Yeah, because the person that and it was my mom. I even though I was older, I still needed her in some needed her in some ways, and definitely, it was just awful. And everybody else suffers with that disease. And I know I've said that before, but that's just the way it is.
You know, it's like that with many diseases. Cancer is like that. Once you have cancer, you and all your family are going through it together. You know, there's differences, but there's similarities as well. Suffering is difficult, friends. So, all right. Anything else you wanted to share?
No, I think we discussed these other things on here.
Well, let's share some scripture from God's word.
Yeah.
Isaiah 43:19 says this, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland.
That's one of my favorite verses.
I love that verse.
I
It's
love
very
it.
hope-filled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
So
Yeah.
friends, did we have a call to action for today?
Well, no, we don't, but we can
Let's make one up.
make one up
What-
right now.
Well, what would you say would be a good call to action for somebody who's listening to us?
I would say expect change
Yeah.
and embrace it.
Yeah.
Just find the positive in it and just, maybe wonder, just ask God, why might I be having this particular change? What are you trying to tell me or teach me or change in me?
Yeah. And place your trust in him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really probably the key.
Yeah. Yes.
Because
For sure.
if you haven't placed your trust fully in Christ, then work on that.
First.
Seek God until you find him. He gives you that promise in the Bible that if you seek him, you will find him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, friends. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Catherine.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.